So I came across this story and I want to know what you guys take on this is. It's about a lady who said that she was groped by a Lyft driver after a night on the town with her girls. And I want to know, do y'all feel that should hold any, sort of accountability for what may have or could have happened to her that night? Just keep an open mind, watch the stories and tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. But for sure, leave a comment below so we can have a dialogue. Let's hit it.
Did you? Yes. Where is?
Watching this back,
It was gross.
but without it, Lauren Christensen wouldn't have known.
I was embarrassed. I thought, oh, I shouldn't have gotten that drunk. It was my fault.
After a night out with coworkers in April of 2022, her friend called her a lift home because she was too drunk to drive. She wouldn't see this until the next morning. We've blurred his face because he has not been arrested. The man who drove her home, groping her chest as he walks her to the front door.
Because I kept asking him, who do you drive? Like, who do you work for? And he was just so adamant that he worked for himself. And then when he finally did say Lyft, it was aggressively and like out of frustration. Like, shut up.
Lift. Yes.
If he'd gotten in my house, I can't imagine.
A neighbor came out that night to check on Christensen. She says he would eventually tell that man he should leave.
Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Thank God for my neighbor.
This is why it's a good idea to know your neighbors and to be friends with them. Now, I'm gonna say that neighbor has been probably trying to holler at her for the longest, and trying to be real friendly with her. I don't know. He might be married, might not be, but still, for him to pay attention to what's going on and knowing something is not right and actually intervening, that's what a good neighbor, a man is supposed to do. But it's kind of hard these days when every time you look up, you're moving every 6 months, from one house to another, renting apartment, one apartment to another, and you don't know your neighbors. Then you live in a neighborhood for 7 years. I think I know, been in this neighborhood about 6, 7 years, and I am probably cool with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 30 to 40% of the people in this neighborhood. I know, what I'm saying, we can talk and have a conversation. You got to do that. What I'm saying? You have to, you have to do that because you just never know. Because when strange people come through your neighborhood, it's good to have somebody watching out for you regardless. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's continue. And yeah, the guy who brought her home, he's a monster. He's a predator. He definitely needs to be locked up with criminal charges. Need to be filed against this guy because, it's a sexual assault. Seriously.
I could be dead.
The next day, she filed a police report and also had the incident reported to Lyft, asking for the driver's license plate information for the report. Lyft did not give that information, but sent a link to steps to take to request data from the company, writing the matter was investigated and that the $8.69 were refunded for the ride. In a statement, Lyft told WFAA as soon as the company was aware of the incident, it deactivated the driver and is ready to assist law enforcement in any investigation. Christensen's attorney, Brooke Cohen, plans to file a suit against Lyft in this case this month.
Unfortunately, it happens all the time.
Cohen's firm alone currently represents more than 100 people suing rideshare companies for similar incidents.
What we hope to do is have cameras in all the cars where at least there's some sort of deterrent.
In Dallas, I'm Morgan Young.
And why is it taking 3 years for them to even file a lawsuit? See, I'm not a fan of Lyft. You see too many Lyft or ride shares or what things of that nature, especially, well, hell, I'm just not a fan of it because you see too many stories about Lyft drivers, a lot of them getting robbed, getting shot, getting carjacked. And then you also see stories like this where they'll, assault their passengers. You see them where they'll drop a passenger off and then come back later and then break in and try to assault them also. I remember like a few years ago, my daughter came in town. She flew in from town and she came in late. And so she had to, take a lift, to our house. But at the time when she finally made it in, she We weren't at home, so we were like, "Nah, don't go there by yourself." She said it's a guy like late at night. Have him bring you to where we were at. We was at like a little restaurant eating and stuff like that. So we had him bring it to where we because it was safer. That's where I felt. And so he dropped off there. Was safe. If anything extra need to be paid, I'll pay it or whatever. But have him bring you to where we are at because I don't trust it. I don't like it. I just because it's just like I say, too many things can happen. They don't really vet these people like they claim they do. She said, "What it's like over 100 people that's filing lawsuits against companies like this." That lets you know the vetting process. And then you got most people who are doing Lyft and Uber and things like that. They don't make a lot of money. They're trying to make as much change as possible to pay some bills or get some gas money or something like that, and anybody can do it. Pretty much anybody can do it. Like the way you hear this guy talking, he sound like he might be uh, like a foreigner, may not be American, a U.S. citizen. So anybody can do it. And then if they do something and something happen, they can just disappear off the face of the earth before any fight. Hell, 3 years. No, this guy's probably not even in the states no more. He's probably doing something not even in this state, probably in some other state, driving around. But anyway, you saw this video and you saw it was just, they was talking about what happened and the lawsuits. But the reason why I asked about the accountability is because I want to go to this video, and this is from Inside Edition. It's a little longer and a little more detail, and you may better understand where I'm trying to come from. Let's hit it.
She needed to get home from a girls' night out, so she took a ride share. She needed to get home from a girls' night out, so she took a ride share.
Yeah, and they show his
Never
face.
in a million years thinking something this horrifying would happen. The driver got her home, but she says he then groped her on the front porch. Now the woman is speaking with our Amber Cogliano, and we warn you the video is upsetting.
It's video that will leave you outraged.
Where is? Right here.
A rideshare driver appears.
See, you can see his face, and yep, he's a foreigner. Anyway, Biden probably let him over. But like I said, this is 3 years ago, man. April. This is almost exactly 3 years to the date.
To be groping his passenger's breasts as he helps her to her front door. Her purse is draped around her neck, and you can hear her dog barking inside her house as she slurs her words. He put his hands around her waist.
What company? Oh, Lyft. Yes, yeah. I want to make sure you get home safely.
Now the woman who says she was
Look at him. See, he saw him look at that camera, so he knew he had. He know he messed up right there. Ladies, make sure you have cameras inside and outside your house, just in case you got some fools like this, some predators, some monsters like this. We can catch them in the act.
The woman who says she was groped is speaking out.
It's disgusting. I was so intoxicated. I was falling over. And to know that someone would take advantage of someone in that state, it's unimaginable.
Lauren Christensen says she was heading home after a night out with friends in Dallas.
Just had the most amazing night. There's a lot of drinks involved.
So her friend ordered a Lyft to take her home. She never imagined she would get groped.
Did you remember the driver grabbing you like that? Did you have any recollection of that?
Not at all.
Unsteady on her feet, Lauren tries to open the door.
No. You're putting it the wrong way.
The Lyft driver didn't park his car outside of Lauren's house. He actually parked it down the street. One of Lauren's neighbors went outside to check out the suspicious car and heard the commotion on Lauren's front porch and went to see if everything was okay.
You're welcome. I just want to make sure everything's all right.
I told him, listen, I said, that's my neighbor and I'm watching over her. And he took off.
Do you feel your neighbor saved you?
Absolutely.
The next morning, Lauren saw the video on her home surveillance camera and went to police.
I had to call my daughter. I was so embarrassed to tell her how drunk I was. And she immediately was like, Mom, no, that wasn't your fault. He should have never done that to you.
So I agree with that statement half and half. I agree with it and I don't agree with it. No, he should have never done that to him. He didn't have the right to do that. It's just like I've gotten conversations with women sometimes and say, I should be able to walk down the street butt naked and nobody touch me. Yes, you should be. But because, well, in the real world, you know that's not practical. So do not entice or invite things to happen to you. No one said, but she was fully clothed. No one said that a person would not try to do anything to you, whether you was fully draped or butt naked. It can happen because you got dudes like this is just looking for a victim. I understand. But my thing is, let me just talk personally. I do not, I'm not a fan and do not like a woman who gets sloppy drunk. Maybe a glass of wine, that's enough to, kind of, who knows, lift your spirits up a little bit, or mellow you out or whatever. But when you like women drinking like hard liquor and then they acting, all out there sloppy, drunk, falling all over themselves, setting themselves up for failure, I don't like it because I don't like getting that way myself. Because when you make yourself vulnerable, it's you can't protect yourself. And that's just the way I'm as a man, that's how I think. I'm a man who think like being ready to react. Shoot, I used to drink periodically I could drink, then not drink, drink and not drink. I can go on binges where I drink every night, then for like a couple of months and then don't drink again. I don't think I had a drink in maybe 2-3 years. And I still got a bottle of like Uncle Nearest. I think I got 2 bottles of Uncle Nearest in my cabinet right now that I have not opened because, like I say, I just don't drink and don't have a taste for alcohol because I just don't like really the feeling. And it's for health reasons, just trying to be healthier, eat healthier, be a more health conscious person. But I'm just not a fan of it. So yes, her time and she talking about, oh, I was so drunk that night. We had a great night. If you got a drink to have a great night, to me, it's not a great. I mean, you got to get sloppy drunk to have a great night. It's not a great night. Hell, I remember getting sloppy drunk one time to the point that I didn't have a great night because I'm hung over the whole freaking night most of the night, throwing up most of the night. Then when the sun come up and realize what time it is, now I'm in a panic because I got to go home. And I've been out all night with my homeboy, sleep in the truck. You know what I'm saying? Not in control of my surroundings. And I don't like feeling like that, not being in control when I should be. And I definitely don't like it with females because here's the issue. Let's say she met a guy, and this is on the fella's standpoint. Let's say she met a dude that night and she was drunk. You understand what I'm saying? And one thing led to another, and they go back to her house or they go back to his house or whatever. They go somewhere, go to the bathroom, back of the car, and some things happen. You know what I'm saying? Cake clapping happens. And then the next morning, she's like, oh my gosh, I don't remember. I was too drunk to even understand what was going on. Oh, this man sexual, he assaulted me. He worded me. I want to file a police report. And then the dude's gonna be like, well, hey, I was drunk, she was drunk, and we both were got into it, and one thing led to another, and this would happen. Well, unfortunately, young man, don't matter. Because yeah, you took advantage of somebody who was not in their right mind, who that if they had to sign paperwork with a lawyer at a hospital with a police department, and they are inebriated or under the influence of anything intoxicating, the paperwork cannot be signed because it's not legally binding. So now you're caught up in a situation to where there's no way you're going to get out of it. And that's why, and so, like I said, that's why I'm not a fan of women getting drunk on both sides. One, women, you leaving yourself vulnerable for predators like this. Two, men, you setting yourself up for, oh man, now she's drunk. Now, if I can go, I don't like doing that. Me personally, if a woman, because I feel like this, if a woman got to be drunk in order for me to have to knock her down, can't kick it with her like that. Just not gonna do it because it's like, nah, that means you really may not be into this, or now I'm feeling some type of way, and it's like, nah, I want you to be if it's gonna happen, we already in the mood. And now if we want to drink a little bit, that's fine. But other than that, I like I said, nah, I don't want to. I'm just not gonna. I'm just trying. I'm just more responsible. Maybe I'm older, a little wiser, but I need to be a little more responsible in my actions and and the people around me should be the same. But let's go ahead and finish.
What's been the hardest part of this, Lauren, for you?
Realizing that it could have been worse,
Mhm.
and I just keep playing it back in my head. Had he gotten in my house?
I spoke to her attorney, Brooke Cohen, with the law firm Cohen Hirsch.
In most cases, you don't have the kind of evidence that we have in Lauren's case. And I think that the Ring camera truly saved her.
She says she plans to file a lawsuit against Lyft.
It was really terrifying and very disturbing to look at.
A Lyft spokesperson says the behavior described has no place in the Lyft community or our society. We take reports of sexual assault very seriously. These allegations are in violation of our terms of service, and as soon as we were made aware of this incident, we deactivated the driver.
He should have dropped her off in front of her house and left.
Lyft sent us a statement saying they are assisting in the investigation and they have deactivated the driver.
But we're still talking about 3 years ago. I'm not understanding, man. I wish I had more details in this story. If anybody got any more details in this story, I mean, please send it to me, uh, or say something in the comments about it, because it's just kind of weird that it's taking that long for her to say that she's gonna sue Lyft. Or maybe they've been going back and forth, and you know how litigation is. You know how lawyers are. They're gonna try to drag it out as long as they can to put more money in their pocket. It is what it is, even if it's with something like as egregious as this. But yeah, that guy who's a Lyft driver, like I say, he's a monster. He should be, criminal and maybe even civil charges should be filed against him. But because he's probably not a millionaire, civil charges may not be filed, but they should be anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because that he should be taken for everything that he got, just for that. Then the criminal charges should be filed that way, so he can't afford a lawyer, and he had to get a court appointed attorney, and maybe had to plead guilty to some charges and do some jail time, just to make an example out of him. But on the lady side, women, stop getting that dog on me drunk. Stop. It's not you setting yourself up to be a victim. A easy victim is what I'll say. Cause like I say, you got fools out there who may try anything regardless, but don't make it easy for them. That's the way I say it. I got a house, right? And I can lock my doors, lock my windows, close my blinds, and say, hey, my doors and windows are locked. Shouldn't nobody try to break in, but I grew up in a house where someone tried to broke in a house once and tried to do it a second time. Uh, what you do? So what do? We put alarms on our house, on our windows and doors, to make it for deterrence. We put cameras inside and outside our house for deterrence, and we also keep that heat on in our house, ready at all times, just in case the deterrents don't work. Because no matter what you do, you may still have somebody that will try to break in your house, which is one reason why they say when you come home, turn your alarms on, because a lot of these people who break in your house, they know that you don't turn your alarm on until you go to bed. It's a statistic. And so they pretty much gamble on that you won't have your house alarm on. They'll break in your house and do what they want to. So you turn it on and you make sure you got it connected with the local police department. These are things you have to do. And again, you keep your weapon somewhere close to you at all times, just in case you have somebody who want to get overly bold and try to get into your house. Again, don't make yourself an easy target. You know what I'm saying? Give them something to work to get. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have intelligent conversation. You know how we do it around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you would like to support the channel financially, you can always give a super thanks, super chat, super stickers. And you can go to the description box below where there are a couple of links where you can go like Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and support us that way. Now, if you would like something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, you can go to marlonmorale.com. You can go to our Shopify store, which is in the description box. And you can just hit that shop button below this video and check out all our luxury products. We got fragrances, beard products, we got silk products, handbags, and much more. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.